Hi, this is Jenny Stowers, and I'm going to be doing a video for you on getting your summer and next school year terms set up correctly so that you are good to go. I know many of you are operating summer programs. So the very first thing, notice I'm logged into all sites, and then the first thing we're going to address is terms. We're going to work in the home tab and work left to right. So the first thing is got to add that new term. So I've actually already added one, but the last thing you see is this school year, you'll click Add New. You'll title it. I prefer the title FY17 Summer and FY18 School Year just because that's how I operate. You'll select your start date for when that is, and then the reporting year, which will be next year, so FY17 and 2017 and 18, and then click Save and Close. I've already got that put in there. If by chance you had added a summer term and a school year term and I went back and helped you with that, the next term that you have down, that's the one that you'll use. And to make that correct for this year, you'll click Edit and then change it to be whatever the right name that you need it to be, the correct start date and the correct reporting year, and then click Save and Close. Once you've got your actual term set up, you will go ahead and edit the calendar. It's work smarter, not harder. You will select the days that you are open. It defaults to Monday through Friday. And keep in mind that if you don't spend the time right now to actually put in like all your holidays and breaks, you're going to have to do a little bit of work in the site calendar. So I'm not going to take the time right now, but I wanted to just, it's worth it to do it now, and then copy to your site after you click save. Copy it to your site calendars, select which sites are there, and then this is especially helpful if all of your sites operate on the same days open. So once you've done that, you'll click close, and so now the thing to do is actually log into that term. So you're going to change credentials, stay at all sites, and slip down into the correct term. So that will be the one that I'm working with now. So now that I'm logged into the correct term, we're going to address these little areas that have star APR. This one you probably won't have, unless it's highlighted red, there's no reason to go in there. Everything should carry forward. Grade scales evaluation school years is an important one. So here's what we're going to do. You click on grade scales, make sure everything looks right. I'm not doing anything different this year than I did last year. If I need to do something, you just type in what you need it to do, and the title of it, and what kind of all sites, or is this going to be a custom or numeric, but everything looks good for me. So next right here is school years, grading periods, subjects, and tests. This is a big one. So you got to make sure that you have the correct academic school year set up, and I did already set mine up. However, you would just click Add New. And so when you click Add New, you put the title of it in and the start date for that academic school year. I always select my academic school year to actually be when school starts for my kids. So for us, it was August the 3rd, and then I click Save and Close. I've already done that, so I'm not going to add another one. And then you'll see once you're here, you've got two areas that you need to address. This grading periods right here, and you'll want to have one that's for fall and one that's for spring. And if you click up, when you first do this, it'll be blank, there'll be nothing. So you'll click Add New, you'll title the grading period. Some people, you can title it whatever you want, but I just like to be clear that you only have to have a fall and a spring. And so if you're very clear with this, no matter what you decide for your program to be the first grade that you use, that will be fall, and the second grade that you use will be the spring. And so you just do your start dates. Typically for that, I do like the whole semester, just because I'm going to be pulling a grade from there. And then you do your end date, which is, so for the fall it would be, here I'll show you the fall. So the fall, we had the start date in August, the end date in December. Click APR fall right here and click Save and Close. And then once you have the fall, then you'll just click Add New again to get your spring, and you'll have the start date, which will be sometime after the Christmas break, the end date, which will be the end of school, and you will click your APR spring, Save and Close. All right, so once you have those set up, then that's good. You go back, and subjects. Now I have subjects here because I've actually already pulled them forward, but you will probably have nothing here when you first do this. You will click Add Subjects from a different school year if you're going to be using the exact same ones that you did last year. which is what I do because I'm using the same ones that are in my grant. You just put a check mark right there and then click copy, and it will pull them forward into this year, this term. If you're not going to be using those, you need to add a new one, then you would just click add new, and you would type in the subject. So maybe you needed to add something this year. Maybe you're adding social studies, or maybe you needed to add science. But as long as it's in your grant, that's what we're doing. The subject code is whatever you want it to be, like an M for math. The description, that's up to you. You do have to select an academic area, and you do have to select what grading scale. So how are you going to be putting grades in for this? And then once you've done that, you click save and close, and then you'll be all set to go on that. So once you have those two set up, really you're ready to go with grades. And there you go. So we'll click close on that. And the last thing that we are going to look at on the home tab is partners. So with the change of having to do all 3 APR reporting periods in the same term, one of my concerns was that I had a hard time keeping up with what partner contributions were from which fiscal year. And so Cayen advised me that the best practice on that is to title your partner based on their fiscal year. And then if you use the same partner again in the next year, you would just create a new partner with the next fiscal year and that same partner. So I have several for FY17, and notice I do have an FY18 school nutrition. That's a completely new partner that I added. So say that also the Towns County Schools is going to be a partner in FY18. So I'm going to do add new, and I'm going to title that whatever I want it to be titled. And then, are they a subcontractor? No, because I don't pay them for their services. Organization, it is a school district, and then I can put in notes. So they provide me rooms, they provide me telecommunications. Watch my spelling. Yeah, it's going to be good. I knew it. And then they could provide me with technology, whatever it is that they're providing. And then you click save and close. And you also don't have to put in notes. Okay, so then once you've got your partners, you're good. If you don't care about keeping up separately, then just leave the partners that you use and keep reusing them every year. All right, so once you have them, you just click close. You've got your partners there. So now we're going to log in at the site level. So I'm going to select my site, and I'm going to log into the correct term, which is our new term. And when you log in, you'll notice that it is red. So we're going to work left to right. So we're going to address the site info first. Notice only 3 of them are red. This one's going to turn red too after I do this one. So we're going to start with reporting periods. And what we're going to be doing is this is the most important thing on this tab, and we have to show where we're open. So yes, I'm going to be open for all 3, and then I have to put in my start date and end date for each reporting period. So my summer operates the month of June. My fall operates from this is when my site is open. So we actually open on the 14th, and we go all the way until we're going to be going until December 14th. And then spring, yes, that's good. So that's going to be after it's going to be after Christmas. So I'm just going to type that in. And I think we start on the 8th. Yep. So we're coming back on the 8th. And then the end date will be my end of school. So that's going to be in May. And I think it's the 11th. No. We'll go to the 10th. Okay. So then after I have all those dates put in, now my current school year for grades test. So this should have the one that we added already. So 17-18, because this is for next year. This is next year's term. And then the prior year will be 2016-17. Now your operating budget, if you're not exactly sure what it is, just put in something and go back and edit it later. Like you can even just put in $5, and then you'll know that that is not correct. You need more than $5 to operate your site, and you just edit that when you have that number right in front of you. Okay, so once that's done, you'll click close, and now notice this one did highlight red. So we're going to address all these reds before we move on to the next tab. So funding source, I literally just copy the district values because nothing is going to be different for me. I have no new funding sources. So I just pull those forward and click close. If you need to click add new, you would just do that. But note that they all are going to be pulling from your district. So if you have a funding source, it still has to be linked to what you have in your district. If you need help with what your district funding sources are, reach out to me. That's a separate little video. Okay, so click close on that and that red will go away. This edit calendar, this is what I was talking about when I said if you don't take the time when you first set up your calendar, it's going to be highlighted pink every date that is outside of your open date range. And see, I didn't go through and uncheck all those dates in July that were not open. So this will stay highlighted red until you address all of the pink days. So notice how it's not, but look at the very end, I got some more pink. So unless you make sure you scroll all the way down and take care of all of those pinks, that won't go away. That won't go away here. All right, and then so I'm going to click close because you can do that on your own pace. Next is site staff. So I typically like to add staff from different term because I have a lot of people that come back. So, like let's see who I've got, somebody that's working this summer. And I'll go ahead and add them. Let me find HIJ. I know I've got a, there she is. Okay, so Miss Johnson is working for me this summer. So I'm going to go ahead and add her. And then you can add everybody else, or you could even just add one and then go back and do that at a later time. If you need to add new staff people, you just click add new and you fill out what you have to fill out. If you click save, it'll tell you exactly what you have to fill in to add a staff person. And once you've got the staff people, you also, it's going to expect you to fill out the staff APR. So you have to do it 3 times. So for the summer, you have to say what they did. She is a day teacher, and yes, she's staff. I'm going to click save. But I'm also going to see how it's still red. It's because I have to do it for the fall. And yes, she works for the fall. And then click save. And for the spring. Yes, she works for all of those. Okay, so now it goes away. So until you take care of all 3 drop downs, it's going to stay red. All right, so once that goes away, which that one will if you do all of it, then you can move on to activities. Now there's other stuff you can do here, but just to get you going, this is all you need. Next is activities. So this is what's going to happen, and until you add an activity, this will always happen and this will stay. So I'm going to click add an activity. This is all of my activities that I have already had previously set up in the past. If you are planning on making any kind of change to the activities that you do, then you need to add a new one. But if you're doing it exactly the same as you've always done it, like you're not making any changes, then you just pull forward. So this one I know will be exactly the same for us. So I'm going to do it, and I have mine titled G1 because that's for goal 1. None of this stuff will change except for I have to select 2017-18 report APR category. So this one's our academic enrichment, and so we use that. We do a couple different ones, but this is we'll start with homework, like kind of homework help is a big one that we put in there. We have more than one goal because I like to address more than one APR category. So now I'm going to have a new, you can just leave it as new session and click, well, if you click save and close, it's going to show you all the stuff you have to do. Okay, so you'll just put in everything here that's highlighted red. Make sure that your dates offered are the right thing. You can click here to set up to adjust your activity defaults. And we're going to make that from June 5th till May of 2018. Okay, and so then from now on your activity defaults will be within the range that you have here, which that's still not right. 6, 5, 17. Okay, 2 of 2018. Okay, all right, and then you also have to select a state funding source, and then if you have another funding source, another one. You also want to select the first day that you offer that. And then you click save and close. and you then have a session. So once you have one, that red part goes away, and you can add, of course, add all the ones that you need. You'll need to add more activities till you get everything exactly how your schedule is. But as far as setting up, you're good to go. Then the last thing you need to do prior to taking attendance and being completely ready is, of course, adding your kids, which you do under registration. And I find that because I have a lot of repeat kids, the fastest is to do quick data entry tools, then register students from prior term, and that mostly comes from last year's school year, which actually will be 16-17. And so say you're then going to, you can select ones here. We'll do that. Go ahead and do my sons. They're coming this summer. You can increase their grade level by 1 if you would like to do that. So that way they're moving from one to the next. And then you click register selected. Okay. And then it just takes them off the list. And then you can do more if you do it by last name. You can also do yes, I know it takes a while to do the list, or you can just click close, and then you can double check to make sure that they're in there. And so I registered, there they are. So they're ready to go, and once you've done that, you pretty well are ready to do that. So notice that went away. That one's still red though because of that one, the edit calendar. Okay, so I hope you have a great summer program, and if you need anything, please feel free to reach out anytime. Here's my contact information if you need anything or have any issues this summer. Thank you and have a great day.